Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Thursday, September 23rd at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I am live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am looking forward to coloring tonight. I had a great meal, so I'm in good shape and ready to go. Welcome to my Facebook group. Welcome my Facebook peeps who come in and watch and chat, and we laugh it up and they color and we have a lot of fun. And welcome to my Facebook peeps who come in and just watch. As long as you guys are learning something, we're in good shape. Oh my gosh, excuse me. And welcome to my YouTube peeps too, who watch this after I upload it to YouTube. And of course it goes to video in Facebook, so if you can't make it, that's all right. All right. Don't forget that we've got a duet coloring with Dawn on the 28th. That's going to be a lot of fun. We always have a good time when Dawn Boyer comes in. For anybody that's new, she's an artist of a lot of coloring books. And she and I get together and we love to color side by side. Okay. So I'm not seeing any comments yet. If somebody would say hello when they drop in. If not, I'll have to reboot. Okay. Hi, Mary. There we go. Sandy, hello. Pearly, hello. Summertime. Okay, so I've been working on several projects. Thank you so much for everybody that's been commenting on the puppy. Zoom out. Zoom out. I think he turned out really well, and we decided to call him Charlie. So Charlie turned out really well, and this is from Color Sweet Animals by Jane Madej. So thank you for all the comments on it, that you guys really enjoyed this project. I had a lot of fun doing it for you. And our red truck, which is Country Autumn by Jane Summer. Yeah, Sandy, you said you like Charlie? Okay. I really need to put his name on the piece. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. We had so much fun with him. Hi, Rhonda. Here, let me get him back for a second. So I'm going to go ahead and put his name on this. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. All right, so we'll do that. Here we go. Charlie. So he is now officially named, everybody. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. There we go. All right, now he's official, as Sandy says. Oh, do we not have fun here? Okay, so I'm going to work up a couple projects tonight. We've been doing a lot of heavy lifting and coloring. Hi, Maddie. And I thought, just for a change of pace, although I still may get to them, we've been doing our grayscale. We got our plums, our peaches, our pear, and the jug. Love this piece. And this is by Life Escapes Digital. And I really hope that you have been learning the grayscale. Dark grayscale is a gorgeous, gorgeous project to do. And we've been working on our wreath, which is also coming along beautifully. So we'll see. All right. So let me go ahead and reboot on this project. And you know that I'll be moving around. This is the Hanna Karlzon. I love this one too. La, da, da, da. And as you would call this, is spirit animals. So get your coloring gear together. Don't forget to chat. Who's going to be my conversation starter today? Let's see here. Maddie says I was yesterday. Oh, come on, guys. It's not a chore. Just tell me something fun. All right. So let me dig into this one for a little while. And let me move my screen around here. All right. There's the orange I want. Okay, so I've got a Shuttle Art Bright Orange Red 133. Well, that's all right. If you guys don't want to chat, that's okay too. We're good. Now, what I'm going to do is, Maddie says that she colored a wild cow today, and now she's going to color a wild pig. Oh, Sandy says I decided to challenge myself to a Jack and Jill grayscale from Nursery Rhymes book from Ruth Sanderson. Oh, excellent. Okay, so I'm going to use my bright orange red. Hello, Rita. Remember that I made this fish and I made it reflect the orange that I have down here. And I tinted in my color from last time, which I always tell you to do. And now I'm going to go back and I'm going to enhance that orange. And remember that you need to blend it out as well. Oh, and I finally got my pencils from Dick Blick today. Woohoo! Jeez, finally. Mary says she hasn't had a chance to color, worked 11 days straight. Oh, Mary. Yowza. And now you can see how this brighter orange is really picking up this piece. 10-hour days. My gosh, Mary. Doesn't leave much time for getting into trouble, does it? No fun at all. Zoom in. So I want you guys to see now how really pretty this is coming out to be. So what if I told you guys, excuse me, what if I told you guys that your piece should be doing for the observer? What's the job of your coloring? To do what? All right, let me get that blended. To tell a story. That's right. And the way we tell a story is the way, now obviously, the piece that you're coloring from the author, you've got something going on. And you want to make it special. Yep. So your coloring needs to tell a story. And the way you tell your story is how you color it. Either brighter colors, more subdued colors, maybe a little unusual coloring. So my story on this one is that we've got this fish. Make it special and tell a story. Excellent. Zoom in. So my story on this one is that this fish is going through the water with a passenger. And that passenger, well, and the fish is gliding over an area that happens to have a lot of bright orange plants. And those bright orange plants are lighting up the bottom of the fish. And giving shaded color in orange to the fins and the underbelly. Yep, Maddie's cow was unusual. Exactly. Rhonda says to tell a story, to make it special, and to surprise and amaze. I love it. And I want you to keep that in mind when you color. So take a screenshot of those words that Rhonda said. That's an excellent response. Tell a story, make it special, surprise and amaze. Oops, would help if I don't wiggle. And so when you post your pictures online in the group, I want you to tell me what your story is. And when you start thinking in that direction, I think you're going to find out some unusual, neat things are going to happen with your piece. Okay. Summertime. I don't know why I'm stuck on that. And boy, did it get cool today. Good sleeping weather last night. All right. Now, as I also told you on this, is I went ahead and I made the tips of the fins the brighter orange as well. Now remember, this last orange, like I said, that I put in was my tinting color or my placement color. I could have left it the way I had it, but I now decided, well, I knew I was going to do this, that I'm going to come back and I'm going to enhance the bottom edges of my fins because they're being shined on as well. All right, let me move you over here. And let's smooth this out just a little bit more. All right, let's take a peek here. We got to get these fins down here in my little brighter orange. And then I'll blend that with my finger. Now, I want you to notice that I'm going to leave this orange up here and not really do anything with it, because I want that orange to dissipate towards the top. So we're good on that color right there. All right, zoom out, And also I'm going to go back and make sure that everything here on my plants are blended well. Oh, I feel really good. I had a nice bowl of chili. I think I told you that. Chili and crackers. All right, now, there can also be a story within a story, right? Leftover tacos, even better. Flavor really absorbs in, doesn't it? So I've got a story within a story here. There's a lot going on in this piece. It is busy. And I made that sky very busy because we're having a lot of celebration on the top here. And then we have the calm water below. We have the light and the dark. And if you'll recall, I added the circle around the crown. Zoom in. Let me move you around a little bit. I added the circle around the crown. And then I put little gems on here. So this whole sky is exploding in celebration of what I'm calling as being this princess. And then below we've got the quieter waters. Even though we've got this orange reflecting up onto the bottom of the fish. That's fine because again, it's all fantasy. And I added a lot to this. I added the swirls, I added the bursts on the stars, I added metal to the stars. Hi, Ashley. And then I added the little rhinestones for the little additional stars. And yes, it's busy, but this busy works. So we're in really good shape. All right. So let's go ahead and work on our plants, get these done. Oh, let's see what we got here. And then I also want you to notice too that below the water line, zoom in, everything is lighter. So even though this was the blue here, I went ahead and made a lighter blue on the bottom and my darker blue on the top. And there's no blending between this changing of the light and the dark. Oops, that should have been blue. I made it green. That's all right. Little boo-boo. And as I mentioned to you before, when you work your detail on your pieces, Maddie's good at this. She works her detail. Rhonda works her detail. That the overall contribution to the piece is phenomenal. Got a little bit missing here. So I don't know if you guys are tired of me saying that, but I can tell on your pieces when I look at them whether you're rushing through something or whether you're working that detail. Okay. So I'm going to use, let's see what we got here. Hi, Stephanie. Maddie says that she overdosed with details with mandalas. Now I'm going wild with color and markers. I've got a Castle Arts 050, and I'm going to go ahead and now make the top part of my plants the darker green. Oh my gosh, I forgot a little colored area here too. Well, shiver me timbers. All right. Okay, let me grab my marker and let me go ahead and put some paper underneath there and get that little area done. There we go. All right, top plants are the darker blue, which is my Ultramarine 043 by Castle Arts. We'll go ahead and get those. And I've got another little tiny area that I missed. Boy, they stick out like a sore thumb, don't they? There we go. And what's the #1 skill that I want you guys to learn in coloring? Let's see here. That. Light and shadow blend, exactly, or blending. Yep, that's it. Okay. And notice that I'm coloring in little teeny tiny circles to get rid of that popcorn effect. And now we're really seeing the results of this light and dark that I've been working on with this particular project. Okay. Now I also took on the tops of these little plants. Yep, missed a spot. And I went ahead and worked with my greens. I worked with two colors. I've got a limeade Brett Funner. And that's my base color on here. And let me go and hit this last one over here. And then I'm going to come back with my darker green, because this is my dark segment, remember. Alright, give me a moment. This doesn't want to sharpen correctly. And I'm using my phthalo green now from Castle Arts. And I'm going to go on top of my light green. Now, if you're ever stuck with trying to use different greens on a piece, all you have to do is add a base color to another base color to the green that you're already using, and that's going to change its characteristics. And what this does is it keeps the green within the realm of the colors that you're already using. So see, I used the plain phthalo green right here, but now I'm using the phthalo green on top of my limeade color. Okay. And let's go ahead and get this last one here. Hi, Rebecca. If I miss saying hello to anybody, sorry about that. Come on in. Okay. Zoom out. Let's take a look. Zoom out. Now, two things. I'm going to get my, let's see. This is called After Dark Brett Funner. And this is where your shading comes in. First of all, I'm going to blend up this blue a little bit because it's giving me a little bit of a popcorn effect. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my After Dark, which is a black, grayish, dark grayish pencil, Brett Funner, and I'm going to add a little bit of shading underneath the leaves here, wherever they cross each other. And you don't have to run it very many times. I've talked about this a lot before. Just a subtle sweep here. And you may say, well, ILene, we've already got dark here. Yeah, but now we're going to go ahead and darken that just a little bit more, and that's going to give us some beautiful depth. Can you see that? Okay, and let me go ahead and do it on this one as well. I'm just running that on the outline a little bit. Nothing earth-shattering here. And honestly, your viewing audience is not even going to notice that black per se. All they're going to notice is that your piece has depth to it. Look at that, guys. Zoom out. All right. And then any little areas where you've missed your blue, just go ahead and blend that a little bit and get that taken care of. Okay, now we've got a plant down here that's below our water level. Zoom in, zoom in. So we're going to go ahead and do that in the lighter blue. And our lighter green. And then I'm going to take up my darker blue, which is my Castle Arts Ultramarine. And we'll go ahead and we'll pop a little shading on that. See that? There we go. Okay. And let me move you over here. Don't want to make you dizzy. We'll go ahead and add that darker blue on the edge. And then you're really going to see it right here on this plant. Blend, blend, blend. There we go. Okay. Zoom out. Zoom out. Let's look at this whole piece now. Zoom out. All right. Let me grab some water. And let me tidy up just a little bit here. So Sarah, what have you been up to these days? All right. So for these scales here on the fish, I'm going to go ahead and work that in purples. Maddie says that their little piggy that she's coloring is dreaming about a fine brick house. All right. Let's see what we got here. So let's go ahead and get some scales on this fish, on our fantasy fish. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Okay, I'm using an Arteza Royal Purple 058. We'll go ahead and get that as my bottom color here. And then I'm going to use a Shuttle Art Purplish Blue 135. And I'm going to go ahead and darken the one side of it. And that's going to give us a nice dimension. Now, that's looking a little bit speckly. So in this case now, I'm going to, on my lighter color, just give that a really quick blend with my blender pencil on the light part only. And that way I still have my dark dimension area. Now, I'm going to take my darker to two of the two colors, which is my shuttle art. And I'm going to go through and color up my dots on here. And what that does now is that's going to tie everything together. Now the thing that I want you to realize here is even though it looks like that adding the extra dots in this dark purple area, or it's a blue area with my dark purple, doesn't make a difference, it does. That color is going down and it is making a difference. I can't emphasize this enough. When you layer, those layers make a difference. You are always adding color. Okay, look at the difference, guys. It's there. Okay. Now, let me do the other side, and then I'm going to show you how that is showing up. All right. So we're at the back of the skirt here. Got a few more dots to handle. And if your pencil's crumbling a little bit, don't worry about it. That's taken care of with a brush. Let's get these dots here. Now, I don't want these dots to show up brightly. I just want them to be very subtle. And that's exactly what they are. Okay, now I'm going to keep going with these dots on the eye. Look at the end of her dress, you did too, and there's a third one a little bit away from them. I got these three here. I've got a bubble here. Did I get it? On the other side at the end of her dress on the top. Okay, by her knee. I'll check it out later if I missed it, Rita. Okay, so on the eye of the fish, I'm going to go ahead and continue the pattern of the dots. And those will be there when I'm ready to do the eye. Okay. Zoom out. So now I'm going to go back. Hello, Angela. Oh, I have the okay from the doctor. I can go home today. Oh, Angela, that's wonderful news. Praise God on that one. So, Angela, did they find out exactly what was going on with you? All right, so I've got my ovals now with my lighter purple. I actually am going to go ahead and blend those, get those nice and smooth. And then I'll go back and add my shading for my purple to give me my depth. So again, this is my Shuttle Art Bluish Purple. And we'll go ahead and do our partial C in there. Okay, hold on. That point's not holding. All right, and my dark purple now, zoom in. Zoom in. We'll go ahead and do our backwards C on here. And by adding that second shade of purple, this is where you're getting now our dimension. All right, let's take a look at this whole thing now. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Oh, that's good, Rhonda. She says, ILene, I worked with Ginny on the backwards C and highlighting today. Good. All right, everybody see now how our scales are not looking flat. I know there's a joke in there somewhere. Get it? Flat scales, you know, music. Oh, my. So, Rhonda, did Ginny enjoy learning that? Sharp of you, ILene. Oh, Maddie. Very good. Sharp of me. Okay. We should take notes. Oh, Rebecca. And all your jokes are falling flat. Oh, you guys are great. I love ya. Okay, let's work on these little areas here on our fins. See, we've pretty much got happy people in this group, I'll tell you. Oh my. We are good. We are good. All right, so let's go ahead and work on here. Zoom in. Zoom in. So Rhonda says, yes, working on some small rosettes. Lots of family visiting her this week and are requesting pictures from her. Oh, man, that's great. You do realize, Rhonda, now that that's going to give her a really great purpose, right? Okay. Well, I'm very happy for you, Jenny. That's great when you're watching this video. I hope you're learning a lot, and I hope you're having fun. And I'm glad to hear that your family is requesting pictures from you. That is so cool. Okay, so we're going to give this fish a little bit of a regal look. Said we will be busy till Christmas. Exactly. So I'm going to put some gold on our fins here. We'll have a little bit of fun with that. La, da, da. All right, hold on, finding my gold. Actually, I'm going to change that. I'm going to change it to a metallic pink. Zoom in. Zoom in. So this is my Shuttle Art Metallic Pink. It's 030. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Now, I don't want to add any orange into that at all, because that's going to take away from the highlighting that I did with it. Now, if you have gel pens, this would be a good time to use them. Now, I'm satisfied with using this one pencil color because it is a metallic. Metallics are harder to shade and blend. So I'm going to let the color stand for itself here. All right. And look how pretty this is, guys. Okay. Now, I'm going to pop over to the other one here and do the same with that. Now, you want to be sure that you've got your metallics, for lack of better words, streaking in the right direction. And that's why I'm going through and making sure I've got everything colored and I don't have any wonky marks on it. Sometimes your metallics will streak. Oh, that's pretty. Oops, got a little spot here that I missed. Yeah, that's the one thing about metallics, guys. Make sure that you cover completely. All right. And now I'm going to pull a metallic teal with this. So this will be really pretty. Zoom in. Again, make sure that you're completely covered. Colored. And check out how the teal color works beautifully with the watercolor that we got behind it. Okay, let me brush that. Oh, how pretty is that? I think you're going to like it when I pull out. All right, let me slide you over now to my other one here. Oh, what a pretty color combination. And let's make sure, course them all the way out to edges. For some reason, metallics really show when you don't get out to those edges. All right. All right, let's take a look at these. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. How pretty is that? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to also zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. I'm going to give my fish the metallic bluish green eye as well. Hello, Daisy. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be back home in Texas, and now I have more time to watch you. Oh, Daisy, welcome. Daisy's back. Daisy's back. Now, on your metallics, you want to do repeated strokes on it. Get that rich color. That's right. Welcome home. Oh, I just had one of my rhinestones pop off. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds here. And actually, that's one of what I'm going to grab. That'll make a perfect eye for my fish, actually. Ha-ha! Hold on. So Daisy says, yes, California was fun and all nice to go visit, but it's nothing like being at home. And I sure do miss my sister-in-law, Jean Waring. Yeah. Daisy, so sorry about Danny. Or not Danny, excuse me. Her brother. Okay, I'm just gluing this rhinestone back on. Hold on. Zoom out. Okay. Zoom out. Yeah, Danny. Yeah, I thought, okay, Danny. Danny was correct. I didn't know him too well, but I'm sad and torn up for Gene, absolutely, in Maryland. And of course, your husband, Anthony, who is Danny's brother. Yeah. So sorry. It's a sad situation all around. Well, Anthony, we're all so sorry for you guys going through this. That had to be really awful to go through, especially having to take them off life support like that. So Anthony, our condolences. We've been trying to be here for Jean and for Marilyn, your mom. So just so that you know that we're here for you in thought and prayers. Okay. And Anthony, you don't need to thank us. We just have a very caring group. Okay, so I'm going to put a little glue on here. Anthony, take care of your mom. She's, as you know, she's having a very hard time with this. So Anthony, was Danny your older brother or younger brother? Am I recalling correctly, older? He was the eldest brother, that's what I thought. Okay, I've put a rhinestone on for the eye. So we've got a really nice blue now going on with that. And so basically we've got really the majority of this done. Well, I know this is really tough too, Anthony, with your brother. He was married to your sister-in-law for what, 25 years? the two adult boys and then the young daughter. Yeah. Zoom in. Now, I've got to do this bubble at a later date, but I'm going to do these other bubbles now in purple. And that's the same purple that I did on the body of the fish. So now we're getting the purple, the blues, and the greens. Well, Daisy, I hope you can help Jean because, you know, of course, she's already got depression issues, and I'm hoping that she will stick with the group and color with us when she can. Oh, 28 years. I'm sorry. I thought it was 25. Miss Rebecca, good night. Okay, so we've got purple now, blue and green on these bubbles. And that is adding a beautiful, beautiful mix with these colors. All right. Let's take a look. Zoom out. Zoom out. Oh man, guys, what do you think of that? Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay. Now, I want to go ahead and do her bracelet. And really, we're getting a majority of this done. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. We'll go ahead and get this last bubble done. So that's my Pathlo Green 050 from Castle Arts. And then I'll go ahead and pop on a little bit of white from my Arteza. Zoom out. Looking pretty good, guys. All right. Maddie says, okay, I posted my piggies with a story tale of 2 piggies. All right, I'm going to bling up her anklet, and then we'll do the bracelet on her ankle, and then I will be planning on switching over to another piece. So she is going to be wearing a beautiful pink anklet. Zoom in. Look how pretty that is. And notice how I'm dipping the middle two just a little bit, just to give that look that it's hanging on her ankle. Details, guys. All right, and I'll wipe off that extra glue. Now, I've got such a tiny spot here for my coloring. I'm going to go ahead and use my metallic gold. And we'll go ahead and gold that piece up here. Very, very small. Use your judgment on pieces like this. I know I talk about depth and dimension all the time, but sometimes when it just gets teeny tiny like this, it's just ridiculously small. Hi, Wanda. Now, the way I've colored it is I went ahead and added it a little bit darker at the top. And you can see now that there's a streak in there, so I was able to do that. So that'll add just a little bit of our dimension that we're looking for. Zoom out. Zoom out. Two more things on this and then I'll flip over to another piece. Anybody have any questions or comments on this? So on the mouth, I'm going to use a very, very light gray. This is actually, it's a Prismacolor Peach Beige PC 1085. So I'm putting a neutral color inside the mouth, basically. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. And I'm going to take a little bit of my flesh color. It's a flesh brown. It's a peachy color. And I'm going to add just a little bit to that outside. And again, that's that dimension issue that I'm talking about. Now, I want to do one more thing, and I started this a while back for you. And I want to show you this because it's going to make a difference on our coloring here of our perception. Zoom out. Zoom out. When I first started this way back, I went ahead and I used a grayish color near the top portion of the water. And this is my Smoke Gray by Arteza Expert, and that color is A107. And what I'm showing here is a gradation from our black to a gray to the light blue. Now, I don't want you to be afraid of doing things like this. And again, this may not be one of your fav pieces, but, you know, I always tell you, I want you to see the methods, and you can decide where and when to use them. So I've got my gray at the top here on that piece, and I'm going to go ahead and make sure that we've got this on, of course, both pieces. And make really sure when you're doing a gradation like this that you get right up to that tail. Because if you don't, you're going to have your lighter blue next to it, that tail, and it's going to look funny. Okay. So let's take a look now at this overall piece. Zoom out. Zoom out. And you've got to make sure, guys, that your gray is uniform, because if it isn't, it's going to look like waves on a sea. Okay. Zoom out. So really, guys, now, except for this very bottom, I'm pretty much done. And this is a really great example. I've got to smooth out my black in a couple of areas. But other than that, I think we're in pretty good shape. And again, deliberately busy. And boy, does this tell a story. I'll tell you. All right. And thank you, Maddie. I'm glad you like it. This one, I would say, is an acquired taste. All right, let me put some of my bling away here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something from it. And of course, I'll show you the finished piece. All right, now for something really different. Oh my. As I said, we've been doing some pretty involved pieces. So I just want to do something tonight that's just very light. Maddie says, I acquired a taste for the fantastic long ago. Good. Okay. Let me pick up a couple of my pencils or else they will get scattered. Da, da, da. Okay, this is from Cute Witches by Jade Summer. So I thought we could have some fun with this. It's got lots of kitty fur. We got some hearts, we got a satchel, just fun stuff. And let me get my... So I'm going to go ahead and start this out with my flesh. And that way we can get acclimated to what's going on. I'm planning on using probably some markers on this little guy. Gal. Guy being the overall picture. So I'm going to start out with my salmon from my Brett Funner 520. And by the way, did you guys check out Rhonda's wreath? She's doing a good job with it. Zoom in. And Wanda, I will be in touch with you after the broadcast. Okay. Alrighty, so she's got a dress on all the way, it looks like. Zoom in. So this is her hand right here. And then we'll go ahead and let's see. We got her neck right here. Now again, I'm tinting in the color. Take your time, color in your little circles here so we get a nice even lay of the pencil. Okay, now this is where I would go ahead and take my Faber-Castell 103, of which I now have 24. Finally got it from my order. And I'm going to go right over this, smooth it out. Ooh, I missed a spot in between the hair, didn't I? Yeah, Rhonda, I don't know if you saw Maddie's comment, but she really likes your wreath that you're doing. Okay. And now we've got a beautiful, beautiful color. For our hands. Rhonda, you're doing a great job on that wreath. You really are. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at what we've got. And I want you to see this. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. So for some of you who have a problem with where to start on stuff, if you've got something that's got a lot going on, which this does, a good starting point is to get the skin done. Okay, so now I'm going to use my Earth Red Arteza 138. Zoom in. Zoom in. And this is where I'm going to go ahead and start adding the shadow on the skin. And this is where, by adding the shadow, you start adding your depth. There are a lot of great tutorials on how to do skin. I've done it for you. We all have our different methods of doing it. And again, do not grind your pencil into the paper, all right? So anywhere that something crosses the face, I go ahead and add a little bit of shading there. Ooh, Maddie and Wanda are both complimenting your wreath. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of shading inside the eye here and next to the nose. Blend that a little better. And remember, when you're coloring your skin and you've got your darker outside, you're coming in lighter and lighter and lighter on the rest of the face. And this is where you're going to start to see your contours. Shade a little bit around the nose there. And again, I'm blending my color with my Faber-Castell 103 Ivory. And again, I want you to think about when you press your face against a glass door, what hits first? The nose, the forehead, the chin. So those are going to be your lighter areas. And I'm going to finger blend that because I want that for the smoothness. And I've got a little bit of a streak right here, so I'm going to get rid of that with my ivory. Okay. All right. Darker color under the chin, right? Because the chin is casting that shadow. And next to the clothing line. Well, and Maddie and Wanda, I'm sure that Rhonda would be open to any suggestions that you have about her wreath. Please don't hesitate to tell her. Okay, lots of blending, guys. Okay, so next to the hand here, go ahead and darken in a little bit on our edges. And we've got a little bit of fingers here, so we'll go ahead and touch that up as well. The key is stay towards the outside and then lightly blend that in. Yeah, Wanda and Maddie, Rhonda is a sponge for learning. And so if you have any suggestions about her wreath, please, please, please do not hesitate. Send her an IM if you want to do it privately. Okay. So let's go ahead now and get our color here next to on the thigh. So we're going to shadow underneath the skirt and shadow a little bit, of course, on the edges here. And then I'm going to, Maddie says, I can't think of anything right now, but if I do, and you can recommend to me too. Faber-Castell Ivory blends in the skin beautifully. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? All right. Let's do our edges here. Guys, I really encourage you to comment on each other's pieces. That's what we do. This is a teaching group. And if you're smart, you won't take offense by it. Okay, darker on our edges. Notice how our island of white is coming up in the center here. And then I'm going to use my Faber-Castell 103 to smooth and blend that out. Oh my gosh, I love this ivory pencil. Okay. Zoom out. Zoom out. So I'm going to smooth out this face just a little more with my ivory, and notice I'm using the side of my pencil. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a touch of pink to the cheeks while I'm here. So I've got a Civo Vivid Pink. They don't have a number on this. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Now, notice, I want you to notice something here in putting on this pink is I'm not coloring the face as though she's putting makeup on. And there's a difference in doing cheek color between makeup and doing like a natural little girl pink color being there because of the face. Makeup is going to be a little more confined to one spot, but when you're doing a pink color like a glow, it's going to be a little bit bigger. So that's what I'm doing on the face. Everybody see the difference with that? So I'm not highlighting just the cheekbone where a lady would put makeup. I'm going ahead and giving her an overall fresh flush. Does that make sense? There we go. Everybody see the difference between makeup and putting a flush on? You do not want to sexualize any young ladies in your colorings. Okay. And then with that same pink, I'm going to go ahead and we'll give that tongue a little pink. Now notice that this pink is more vivid because I'm putting it on white paper and not over color like I did over here on the cheek. And I'm going to use the blending pencil to get those edges and that center because I want to keep that light and then that edge. And I'll go ahead and just put a little pink on the side of the mouth as well. Not much. You want the edges of the tongue to be a little bit darker. Don't jam your pencil in, just do repeat stroke. There we go. All right, notice now how the tongue is brighter than the side of the mouth as well. Okay. Zoom out. Zoom out. Not bad at all. Aha. Okay. All right, alcohol marker. Cali art. This says green gray number 3. Wait a minute, let me do this way. GG03. Be sure you have a piece of paper behind your piece. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. And I have found that by making, Maddie says, okay, chew poop to pop. Good night, all hugs. Good night, Maddie. So with alcohol markers, I like to make little circles. And take your time with the markers so that they don't streak. People tend to get into a rush with them and then they streak. And once you start an area, keep on going with it. Because if you stop, you're going to have a stop-start mark. Oh, how cute. Zoom out. Now, I'm going to go ahead, again, here's the alcohol, came through, had my paper in the back. And now I'm going to go through, zoom in. And I'm going to edge my piece. And shade in the top of my hat. And then shade a little bit in between the hair. Zoom out. And if you're wondering why our little witchy girl cat is gray, is because she is not a full-blown witch and therefore does not have a black hat. Okay. So she is coming into shape really well, very quickly. All right. Touch up this pink just a little bit. There we go. All right, so I'm going to pop down to her leather bag, and that's because, again, I want to define the pieces that are around her. And that's going to bring everything else into focus. So I'm going to get a nice light brown to start with, and then we'll work up to our other color. There we go. I've got a Brett Funner Adobe color. It's called Adobe. Zoom in. Beautiful, beautiful brown color here. I really like this pencil for the satchel color. Now notice I'm going a little bit darker brown, even though it's my base color, in the fold, because I'm going to be layering another color on top of it, right? And I've talked about this before, is shading with your base color. Because when you go to put your color, your second color on top of it, that shading is going to affect your coloring just a little bit differently, right? And the other thing I want you to keep in mind too about this satchel is the hand oils get into it. So you need to think about where a person's hand is going to touch the piece, and it's going to be a little bit darker. Okay. And then I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of shading under the lip. Zoom in. Of the bag. And then we'll go along the little crinkle lines as well that the authors put in. All right. I really, really need you guys to think about this, stuff like this, when you're doing your coloring. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my Faber-Castell Ivory. Look at that, guys. Look how beautifully that looks like leather now, because that's blending that in. Nice and soft. Anytime you can add a layer of color or pencil, that's what's giving you your smoothness and your richness. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the difference between here and here. How beautiful is that? Zoom out. Now I'm going to come in with a Sepia Colors Starjoy 107. And add some more dimension to this color. Zoom in. Now, this is where you can add little leather streaks to your bag. See that? See these little marks that I'm putting in now? And I'm also going over my shade areas with this second color. Questions or comments about that? And right next to this buckle, I'm going a little bit darker as well with it. Zoom in. And then under my area here, my little flap, right next to that edge, I'm going to darken it as well. Come out a little bit on my corner. And also, I'm going to add just a little bit of shadow underneath this flap over here. And blend it out. Blend, 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 guys. Okay, and still using my darker brown, my second brown that I showed you. I'm going to go ahead and pull that on my edge. And notice how I'm bringing out this curve just a little bit, because I want that look of that leather. And then down my edge. And I'm going to curve this out just a little bit. See that? That's going to add another depth mark to this. All right, so let's pull this down here. Zoom out. Look at that, guys. Isn't that beautiful? But wait, there's more. I'm going to take my Arteza Storm Gray, And I'm very, very discreetly now going to color in around these edges. Butterfly touch. Now, I want you to look at the difference here between this top and this bottom with this edging now. Do not put a lot on there. It does not take a lot to do this. 2 or 3 strokes maybe. And this is what's going to give you your rich color. And rich look. Excuse me. Questions or comments about this? Like, don't like? Okay. And you walk that very fine line of streaking and not streaking. That's why on your last pass with this storm gray, you've got to stay really close to your edge. And if you need to touch it up with your ivory, that's fine. Zoom out. Zoom out. Isn't that pretty? Okay. Now, our buckle, belt, I am choosing, as soon as I find it, to do that in a lighter brown. Let's see. Give me a moment here. Here we go. Zoom in. So this is a Brett Funner Tuscany, Tuscany. And then I'm going to go over that with my ivory, Faber-Castell 103, because I want that soft luxury look. Isn't that beautiful? And then I'm going to come back with my sepia color, which is my Starjoy 107. And add my shaded points. Now, I want you to notice something. This right here is the higher portion of the leather. So I am going to leave that alone with this secondary color because we want that look of wear. And let me fix something here. On the top where I've got my X pattern here, where the stitches will probably pick up wear, is I'm going to darken that just a little bit on the stitching and a little bit on the edges. Now, I'm going to hit this gray with a little bit of my white. Excuse me, this brown with my white. Just lighten that a little bit. And then I'm going to take, let's see, I've got that silver buckle. So back to my Prismacolor silver. It's so small, hard to do anything with. Is I'm going to go ahead and color that up with my silver. Now that white portion in the center is sticking out, so I'm going to take my ivory and just pass over it just to dull that down just a little bit. All right, let's take a look at our creation now. Zoom out. Zoom out. Cute. All right, I hope you picked up some pointers. I think I'm at a stopping point because if I start anything else, it's going to run me over time. Just tidying up a little bit. I hope you guys learned something, and I hope you're enjoying this picture. And again, this is our apprentice witch, and that's why she's got a gray hat and not black. Zoom out. Not too bad. So we'll figure out some colors for the rest of this. And I'll probably be working on this tomorrow night. You know, I just wanted to give a little break from the other pieces. So I hope you enjoyed it. Something a little bit different. Okay, guys. Well, guys, joyous coloring. I hope you learned something. Hope you had fun. Be kind to each other like you guys are. I love it. Love this group. And I will see you tomorrow night, same time, same place. Take care. And have a great rest of the evening. Bye.